I'm laughing at myself. I know, it's been a while since I've been on here, a while since I've done a sit-down video, but here we are. There's been a lot going on in my life, and I'll probably have other videos on that, especially work-wise, so forgive me. But here we are, and I have a video that I've been trying to film for so long, but something always happens, like maybe you just take the light and then there's noise from the gen, or I'll just not be in the mood, or I'll film it and then I lost the clip, but I'm finally doing that. Drum rolls. So you guys know that it was my birthday last month. I turned 26, the big 26, and I was just reflecting. You know, as you get older, you start to reflect, and I was just thinking about, this was even months before my birthday, maybe like January, February, and I was thinking about what lessons have I learned, what things would I have to with my younger self, what have I learned essentially in my early 20s. And I think you should listen to this video because now I'm an elder. What you see climbing a tree, I can see it sitting right here on the floor because I'm an elder status. Well, jokes aside, just a few things that I think that my younger self would have loved to hear, and it's beyond even age, just generally something that I'm also learning. I'm still learning some of these things as well. So I think I have about 10 points, but I might do less or more as the spirit leads. So the first thing, which is so important, is that what I have here is man proposes, God disposes. What I essentially mean is that you have all these fancy plans. You have your 5-year career plan. You have your 5-year life plan. You want to have done this by this age. You want to have done that. Guys, it doesn't work that way. Life happens. Life really does happen. And you find that you may not have been able to do some things when you wanted to do them. Or you even do some things earlier than when you want to do. So I'll just use myself as an example. I thought that I would have done my master's degree by now, but I didn't because, you know, I said, oh, let me go to law school first. Oh, let me get work experience first. Or let me work for a few years. Then COVID happened. Then just life happened. So it has come. It hasn't happened at the time as I would have wanted it to happen. But then that's just life. Everybody runs their own race. It's not about who gets there first. If you get there first, amazing. You get there first for some things in your life, but you won't get there first for some other things. Another example I'll use is that I would never have thought in my wildest imaginations that I'll be married now, but I am. So that happened earlier than I would have expected or I had planned on it happening. So that's just what happens. But one thing that I can assure you is that you sit back one day and you just realize that, oh, things have actually fallen in line, falling into pleasant places for you, and then you wouldn't see without even overthinking it. You know, it might not have been at the time you wanted it to have happened or on all that, but then God is faithful. Essentially, He's faithful in the plans that He has for you and even the plans that you have for yourself. So don't beat yourself about some things that you haven't done. Don't beat yourself about that, especially if it's out of your control. That's life, and life happens that way. The second thing, this one, it subs me every day, and it's the fact that consistency over perfection. So you need to take the approach in life that being consistent is better than being perfect. Perfection is a lie, it's a myth. When I mean that, I don't mean that you shouldn't aim to attain perfection. But what I mean is I don't sit down and then be waiting for something to be perfect before you start. So for example, you want to start a business, you don't have enough capital, or you don't have certain things in place, you don't have the right tools to carry out that thing that you want to start. It's better to start with what you have. It's really better. I would always use this YouTube experience. I always told myself, I'll start when I have a better phone, I'll start when I have a camera, I'll start when I this. And there are people that started with very little things. I know Tolu Solutions, love her so much. She spoke about how she started with her iPhone 6, placing it by the mirror. I would never have thought to start YouTube with my iPhone 6. So I think that's an important lesson. You can start with anything that you have. People that didn't even have phones, they started their businesses, then they upgraded online, different things. Consistency over perfection in all aspects of your life. Even what I'm learning now in terms of exercise and diet, it's better to do a 10-minute workout than to say, oh, I don't have 2 hours to work out. So to do a 10-minute workout, it's better to have eaten 2 healthy meals and 1 junk meal than to just eat 1 junk meal and give up because, oh, you ruined that day. So just consistency over perfection. The devil always tells us lies that, okay, we're not ready, we're not good enough, we're not this. But consistency, once you do something consistently, it's not about who has the ideas, it's not about who knows better, who knows that. It's all about people that are out there getting it and people that are out there getting it. They're out there putting the effort. And that's one thing that I've learned. And I've learned that even when I put in minimal effort, I see the returns. It might not be financial, it might not be what you expected, but even in terms of satisfaction, for example, now YouTube has become an outlet for me. It's another aspect of my life. You know, rather than just thinking that, oh, the only thing that you have going for yourself might be maybe career or stuff like that. You have other outlets. So just do things. They give you a sense of satisfaction. They give you a sense of which man needs. Like we're not made to be lazy. So it's amazing when you channel yourself consistently over time, the results that you have. So many examples of this little things that I've done that I didn't give thoughts to, but just putting in those little efforts and they yield good returns. Now imagine doing that consistently. Now the second thing I want to talk about is financial stability. This is a very intense one because we're in a time where there's just the prices of food worldwide are increasing. There's inflation in the country. People are not earning as well as they want to earn, or even if you're earning as well as you want to earn, by the time you spend, your spending power is reducing. The naira is devaluating. And one thing I've just learned is that financial stability is something you have to be conscious about. It's about building little habits. Just as I said, consistency over perfection. It's better if you say, rather than saying I don't have 100,000 to save, why not save that 5,000? It's about empowering yourself with information. There's so much information. I spent the last couple of months just researching. How do you do what is this? How can I make my money? Make sure that my money is being hedged against inflation. Make sure that my money is yielding. Your money is working for you. Your money is also helping you yield returns. How are you thinking about long term? But I don't think it's something that you need to pressure yourself so much about, that oh my gosh, I don't have enough to do this. Just start small. It's better if at the end of the year you've saved 100,000 than you haven't saved anything and you've just spent everything. I know that sometimes it's hard, especially when you have a lot of expenses and you're not earning that much. I know people will say, oh, you can save out of anything. Sometimes that's a bit of a lie, because you can't be earning a certain amount in this country now and then you think that you'll be saving. But if you have the ability to squeeze something out, try and do this. I'll try and do some videos later, or not now, in a couple of months when I feel like I can actually preach what I've been practicing. I'll do some videos about things that I work for me, work for my family, and how you put your money to work for you. Number 4 is the fact that time is fleeting. Like, time literally waits for no man. It's you can't even comprehend how time is fleeting. I mean, we all know. When I think about myself, I still see myself as that, 18-year-old, 20-year-old, or 17-year-old that was in uni, just ran off to uni, living her best life, just came out of uni, all that. And then you just look and everyone around you is, running their business, working jobs, having babies, doing different things. And you just realize that, oh my gosh, like I'm somebody's auntie, I'm somebody's all that. So life is really, time is really fleeting. We know that time on earth is not long, but let me not go into that. But time is really fleeting, so we have to live life with a sense of urgency. I mean, not rushing things, enjoying life, but also bearing at the back of mind that the things that you want to do, that the time to do them is really just going. So it's important. I think it's an important thing to bear in mind. Another thing, the 5th one, is that I think is really important, is about serving God in your youth. If you're a Christian, if you're a believer like I am, then you know that the Bible speaks about giving God your youth and serving Him in your youth. And the Bible knows what it's talking about, as it always does. I mean, cast your mind back to when, for example, I cast my mind back when I was in uni, and I could do Christian performing arts. I could go for my fellowship. I could go for this, do all those things. I could still squeeze in time to go for. I used to go for mastering. I could go for mastering the day. All those things. I still go for fellowship in the evening. Have your prayer session with your girls. Have this, have that. There was so much time. You had time. But then you leave uni, for example, and then you start working. Is it on somebody's work time that you step out to go and go for mass? Or is it when you're finishing work by 6 and evening service is starting by 5? So just different things. Or you have a prayer session and then people are calling you from the office if you're running your own business. Or then you now have children and then your children running around. You need to run errands, you need to do this. There's just so much that starts to consume your life. And then you don't even have as much energy again. And it gets worse and it gets worse and it gets worse. Maybe probably until you get to retirement, you stop working, your children are older, time is not that demanding on you anymore. And you just realize that all this time that you have now to serve God, those little times, we have to actually take it seriously. I look back at things that I was able to do in uni, and I'm grateful for them. And I also wish that I could have even done more if I knew this. And even now, I look at myself, I'm like, okay, there are times that you're still able to squeeze things in. And the times you're just going to be more consumed as you get older, as you get busier, as life happens, as children come, as spouse comes, as responsibilities come, as you become breadwinners and all those things. So it's very important to serve God with the time that you can, because it doesn't get any easier. If God has laid things on your heart, you need to get out and do it. And yes, that's very important. Another thing, number 6, is about family. Like, family is so crucial. And I know everybody might not have the best relationship with their family, so this is not limited to family by blood. I mean people that matter to you, friends, close friends, and things of that nature. But if you have a support, just generally a support system, is so important. It's so important how your family and friends will show up for you in times that you have needs. I've seen how my friends have really showed up for me, like in the past year. You see them doing things for you that you wouldn't expect. Just generally the love that family and friends have for you. If you're an introvert like myself, you tend to live in your head space a lot. You tend to want to do things by yourself. You tend to find that you're an independent person. You feel like you can survive on your own. But that's even a lie from hell. And it's very important that you remember that family and friends are important. They're important for your sanity. They're important as people that can correct you lovingly. They're important that people that can see when you have certain traits that are leading to destruction. They're important for people that can see when your mental health is failing because you're not yourself. They're people that can quicken you, that people can tell you, oh, you're being lazy, you're not doing this, you said this, you're going to do this. There are people that can put you on your toes. So you really need a support system. Family, friends, they're so crucial. Friends, even in the workplace, friends that can tell you, oh, I think you didn't do well in this, I think you didn't speak well at this meeting, I think you didn't do this. Friends that you can pray with, friends that you can have lunch with, friends that you can just do life with, friends that if you have an issue, they can relate with you, is so important. That leans in sort of to my next point, which is number 7. This is something that I'm really trying, but I'll give you some tips on how I've been able to sort of start to manage it. This is about learning to network. Just like my other point on family and friends, no man is an island. And if you're somebody that wants to build a business, you want to build a career, you're going to need people. You're going to need people to refer you to jobs. You're going to need people to do recommendations for you. You're going to need people to help you raise capital, raise finances, and all those things. And I've learned that learning to network is so important. I'm not the best at, in fact, I suck at this. Like I said, I'm an introvert. I don't know how to speak to people that I don't know to save my life. But when I get comfortable, then I can, express myself. So what I've learned is the power of social media. So I've learned that hiding behind my phone or my laptop helps me be able to network to people properly. So like on LinkedIn, reaching out to people that, okay, you know that they'll be a good addition to your work network. Sometimes even sending them messages, oh, this. There was recently a situation in which I was and I truly needed advice, and I didn't know anybody personally that would give me that advice, or I'd been in that position. So I looked at people that, their careers and their projections are things that I admire, that I would like for myself, and actually reach out to them. And I know I was speaking to one of the ladies, and she was like, oh, you're really confident. And I just laughed. Like, imagine if I was speaking to you in person, you wouldn't see this confidence. So being able to reach out, and people reach out to me as well. I see people that are younger in the profession, they reach out to me, they ask me questions, they ask me about job opportunities where I'm working, they ask me about advice. So I'm willing to help. I find it courageous when they do it. So especially when it's done in a professional and cautious manner. So I've realized that that's something that I can do as well. As a business owner, it could be also about reaching out to the other business owners. You know, they can help you to prevent mistakes and all that, asking them for advice on how they did certain things. Number 8 is about taking care of yourself. As you get older, you have a lot of people to take care of. You have your parents to take care of, maybe your siblings, children, spouses, and time to take care of. Especially no, I don't want to say especially women, because everybody needs to take care of themselves. So that's a conversation for another day. But you really need to take care of yourself. You need to take care of your mental health. Like mental health issues are actually not something that is becoming more popular. There's a lot more awareness about it, but it's also something that is becoming more important, in the sense that the world in which we live in now, mental health is something that we should take into consideration. I was talking to my husband the other day, and we just spoke about the fact that, you know, we've been working remotely and how that can affect your mental health, because you're not even getting out to see the sun on a daily basis. You're just cooped up in maybe your office, your home office, or in your room, on your laptop, and that just really sucks. And then you just think about how this is just the thing that you're doing. Like, it's getting out into traffic, getting into the office, seeing people play, stepping out for lunch, all those things even help you interact more. So many people are in that situation. Many people are working remotely now. So that's just one of the things that have made people, you know, mental health suffer more. Also, in terms of how the economy is, how people's finances are, that's something also that could affect people's mental health. You know, different things could affect your mental health. You know, sickness of a loved one being ill, just things, life not going as planned. So it's so important that you understand your triggers. I'm starting to understand my trigger and when I spiral into out of control. So it's really something to keep in mind. Taking care of yourself mentally, meditating. I like sometimes, you know, just put the candles on, have the room smelling nice, and just listen to some good music. Just eating well. Like, this should be a point on its own, but I'll just take it under this. The older that you get, the more your body needs you to take care of it, in terms of eating a well balanced meal, not just for how you look. Bearing in mind that another point is that the older that you get, the weight just piles up. I heard somewhere recently that she gets 30 as a woman. Like, there's just this weight that comes and you can't control. I don't know if that's what I'm experiencing, because me, I know I get a lot to put on this weight, but like I said, that's topic for another day. But yes, your body really needs you to serve it well, in terms of what you eat, what you drink, and just even in terms of exercise. I'm speaking to myself. Number 9 is, I put as number 9 that everything falls into pleasant places, but I think I've already spoken about that when I spoke about how we can plan, but it's God will have his way, and things in life will just happen. But it's just important to know that everything will be okay. Your dreams will come true. Your dreams might even change. You realize that that's not really the dream I even really had for myself. Everything will fall into pleasant places for you. It truly will. I promise you that. Despite all the challenges, not to say that there won't be challenges. Number 10, I just thought of one that I'll make number 11, and then I'll end there. Number 10 is that it's okay to make mistakes. Like, it's very okay to make mistakes. Don't beat yourself. Learn how to forgive yourself, and also learn how to forgive people in your life, because as you're journeying, they're journeying and they're making mistakes. Forgiveness is very important, but you learn to forgive yourself first. You're worthy. Despite all your mistakes, you are worthy. Despite the gravity of your mistakes, you are worthy. It's okay that a business that you started failed. It's okay that you lost a relationship that was dear to you. It's okay that you offended people. Don't let that kill you. It's how you can make amends and learn from it. It's okay that you stood up your ground and you left a relationship that wasn't working for you, or it's okay that you stood up your ground and then you left an abusive marriage. It's not going to be easy, but it's okay. Don't say, oh, I'm too young. Imagine me, this just happened. I'm like this and I'm making this sort of mistake, or we see things that have been happening in the news, or I'm too young, I have a child, and then out of wedlock. Like, own your mistakes. Like, having a child out of wedlock, for example, and then you carry that child to full term, you give birth to that child. It's such a courageous thing to do. It's so admirable, and it's a tough journey ahead, but you will look back and you'll be so proud of yourself for what you did. It's so beautiful. So you get up and then you realize that, oh, you left an abusive marriage, you got the courage to do that, and you love yourself for it. You come out stronger for it. It's okay to quit that. It's okay to quit that job that's not working for you and try and strive to do something else. It's okay. It's okay that you're not okay. It's okay to make mistakes. God loves you regardless. Number 11 is, which is the final point, it's just the point about this is the period to get to know yourself better. Don't be stuck in fantasies that you had when you were younger. Don't be stuck in ideas. Learn about how you've changed. Your needs have changed. What you like has changed. You realize as you get older, things that particularly your fancy have changed. What you like has changed. What you want for yourself out of life has changed. And I'm going to be talking about this specifically in when I do more topics on career. And yes, I'm going to touch on that a bit. I'm going to be doing a video with a friend very soon, and we'll talk a bit about how career change, maybe you can transitioning into new careers, and it being okay that, oh, you wanted to be a doctor before and now you want to be a fashion designer, or you wanted to be a lawyer before and now you want to be a brand consultant, or you want to go and be a doctor. So it's okay to understand how your life has changed and all that, and just process that change and understand yourself better. I think that's all, because I'll keep on rambling. But just let me know, regardless of your age, how young or not so young you might be. We're all young, please. But just let me know, what are life lessons that you feel like people need to pick up on. Just put as many or as little as come to your mind, and let's keep the conversation going. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video.